Hey, this is Greg Perkins. With the release of Captivate version 10 and using a Leica GS18 GNSS receiver as an RTK base station, you can now set up an onboard NTRIP caster. This video will show you how to configure your base and your rover. Before we begin, there are a couple of things you'll need. One is a cellular service with a public static IP address for your GS18 base receiver. If you're working in North America, I would recommend obtaining service through our friends at Data Activation Center. A link to this website will be in the description of this video. The other item you'll need is a GAT27 cellular antenna for your GS18. The GAT27 is Leica part number 834668 and can be obtained from your local Leica representative. The first step in our process is to install the static IP SIM card in the GS18 RTK base unit and then attach the GAT27 antenna to the 4G port on the bottom of your receiver. So I'm here in Captivate version 10 in the home page, and I would recommend that you create a new working style. For this, I've created one called Base NTRIP. So I'll go to Settings, Customization, Working Style Wizard, and then make sure that Base NTRIP is set. So I'll do that, press Next to finish. Then I'll select the app screen and select Switch to Base. So the connection to my GS18 base station has been established. So now we're going to go to Settings, then Connections, then All Other Connections. Our first step is to configure the internet connection. Highlight GS Internet and then press Edit. Select the box to use internet connection on the GS, and then select Connect using GS modem. Make sure the device is set to Centurion PLS8 and you want to connect using mobile data. Then press OK. Once you return to the base connection settings screens, make sure that GS Internet is highlighted and then press Control. Enter the APN for your cellular service. This information can be obtained from your cellular provider. I'm using a Verizon service and the APN for their static IP address is SO01.VZW static. Once you've entered that, press OK. It may take several seconds to a minute for your unit to connect to the internet. If you receive a message along the top of the screen here that says connection interrupted, please confirm your APN. Once you've returned to the base connection settings screen, configure the RTK broadcast by selecting RTK base 1, then press Edit. Check the box to transmit RTK data, and then select Connect Using. Set that to GS Internet 1, and your device should say Internet. I recommend using the RTK data format RTCM v3. Once you've got that set, select your data rate screen. I recommend setting your message type to extended, and make sure that your RTK base ID is set to 0. If this value is set to 0, then a corresponding setting will not need to be applied on your rover. Press OK to return to the base connection settings screen. With RTK base 1 highlighted, select Control, select the drop-down box in the user type screen, and then select NTRIP caster. The static IP address of your SIM card will be shown here next to the mobile internet IP address. You'll need to create a TCP IP port, NTRIP mount point, NTRIP user ID, and NTRIP password. I set my TCP IP port to 2101. My NTRIP mount point I will set as base. My NTRIP user ID, I want to make this simple, so I'll set this to my initials. My NTRIP password, I'll make 1234. To display your password, check the box here at the bottom. At this point, I would recommend taking a picture of this page with your cell phone or writing down these values. The mobile internet IP address and port will be used for your GNSS rover. If you're using this setup with a UAV, use the WLAN IP address shown here as the address for your base corrections. Press OK to accept your changes, and then press OK again to return to the base station menu. Select Base Setup and choose your setup method. I will select over known point. I'll enter my antenna height and select my correct base antenna and press Next, and then choose your base station setup point, press OK, press Next, and now you're ready to switch to rover. Captivate has connected to my GS18 rover. So now I'm going to set up an RTK profile. So I'll go to Settings, Connections, and then RTK Rover Wizard. Then I'll select Create a New Profile and press Next. I'll give this a name, press Next. Select Internet and then press Next. Your internet connection type will vary depending on the collector or tablet that you're using. For this video, I'll select WLAN, press Next, and then select my Wi-Fi network and press Next. Once you're connected to the internet, you'll need to create a new server. Check the box here at the top and press Next. Give the server a name. In the address field, enter the mobile internet IP address and port for your base station. Set use NTRIP of this server to with user account, and then enter your NTRIP user ID and your password. Again, you can display your password by checking the box, then press Next. To test your connection, choose Select Mount Point from Source Table and press Next. If you've correctly entered your information, you should see your configured NTRIP mount point. Press Next. Since we have a single base, we don't need to check either box on the RTK network details page. Press Next to continue. Set the RTK data format to RTCM-v3. Leave the sensor and antenna base set to automatically detect. Since we set the RTK base unique ID to 0 in our base setup, we can leave this box and the other boxes below it unchecked. Press Next. We can test our connection by selecting the top box, Yes, test my connection, and press Next. The pulsing arrow at the top of our screen indicates that we're receiving data from our base station, and you should start to see the symbol change here at the top. Press Next. You can choose to stay connected or check the box here to disconnect. I'll disconnect and press Finish. One final note to remember. Unlike using a traditional base rover RTK setup with a UHF or spread spectrum radio, where corrections are immediately received by your rover as soon as the base begins broadcasting, with this setup, you'll need to remember to start your RTK stream just as if you were working in an RTK network. To do that, select the cell phone here at the top of the screen, press Start RTK Stream. We get the notification that we're connected to our NTRIP caster, and the pulsing arrow again indicates that we're receiving data from our base station. Thanks for watching.